Ladies and gentlemen, that is how you call a Raw after WrestleMania. New stories begin, new faces come in, and even familiar faces make their return. Let's not waste any more time as the show began with Oba Femi. Oba Femi comes out fresh out of beating Brock Lesnar last Sunday at WrestleMania. I will talk about Brock Lesnar later on in this video. So Oba Femi is in the ring. He is feeling the ovation from the Las Vegas crowd, chanting, Oba, ooh, Oba, ooh. So after Oba feels the energy from the crowd, all he said was, the ruler has arrived. He drops the mic, does his pose, and he leaves. I mean, come on. Oba Femi, ever since he arrived to the main roster, he has been booked perfectly. There is no way that WWE can mess this up. Whoever Oba Femi feuds with next, good luck. So now I want to go backstage, and Adam Pearce was talking to Penta on how he had an incredible ladder match at WrestleMania, which, by the way, he's not wrong. That ladder match was actually incredible. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. But then we get Javon Evans coming in here, saying that he still wants the Intercontinental Championship. But Adam Pearce actually wanted Javon Evans to meet Raw's newest superstar, Ethan Page. It's about damn time for this man to be called up to the main roster. And Ethan Page already has his eyes set on the Intercontinental Championship. But since both Javon and Ethan Page wanted, they're going to have to settle things in the ring. But I'll talk about the match later. How about we move on to CM Punk, who I thought he was going to take a break after WrestleMania. So he makes this new entrance that it's dark and the spotlight is only on him. And once he does his "It's clobbering time," and he lets the fans do it, then his music hits. That's exactly what happened at WrestleMania. So then Punk's got a mic and he says, these 6 months that I've lived through had a lot of grief. I was in Japan when they called me that my trainer left this world. In November, Larry crossed a rainbow bridge. Not just them, several more people. The ones that make the shows happen. And bro, I don't know, I wasn't really hearing right, but people on social media were saying that the Las Vegas crowd was chanting what? At CM Punk, talking about Larry and close friends of his passing away. Like, bruh, are you serious right now? Chanting what? WWE, don't ever go back to Las Vegas. But they did understand, and they gave him a round of applause. So Punk continued to talk, and he says, every week I come here, and you all help me recover from my losses. Being champion, you giving me support, it all kept me from breaking down into tears. Something tells me that you guys are going to help me from recovering from yesterday's defeat. I wasn't even meant to be champion. I kept pushing forward. I was ready, and the opportunity arose. Seth Rollins got injured, and I declared myself as champion. If it wasn't for me, y'all will be yeeting along with Jey Uso right now. And then this is when people started booing. So Punk calls them out and says, hey, don't boo. I like yeeting too. Get with the program. So I stay ready. That's all I can do. But you never know that a championship opportunity could just fall out of the sky. So I may have lost, but I'm still happy. Do you know why my steps are still skipping? Because I'm ready. So Punk, as he was about to leave, Cody Rhodes comes out. And bro, look at this dude's eye. This is obviously coming out of retaining the WWE Championship against Randy Orton at WrestleMania. So Cody says, I didn't expect this. I'm glad Las Vegas gave you the flowers that you deserve. I feel like a loser. Punk says, are you saying that I should feel like a loser? Don't worry, we're friends. I don't feel like a loser, and neither should you. What you did on Saturday, Cody, was beat a legend, but you also gained a friend. Hold on to that title, my friend, because you never know that a title opportunity could fall out of the sky. And he says that while he's looking at the WWE Championship. So Punk leaves, and as he was leaving, Cody says, "Hey Punk, just say when." Dude, this match between CM Punk and Cody Rhodes was supposed to happen at WrestleMania. But then everything changed. When are we getting this? SummerSlam? Nah, I don't think it's a SummerSlam match. I think it's a WrestleMania match. But just know this. WrestleMania next year is in Saudi Arabia. So this will be something that we will be looking back when we get to when it's happening. So now I want to move on to the one-on-one match that I was talking about earlier. Ethan Page versus Javon Evans. So I want to take you towards the end of the matchup here. Ethan Page were outside of the ring. Javon Evans was in control until Rusev came in and was getting himself involved. Javon Evans fought back, and once he got back in the ring, he was going for the OG cutter, but then Ethan Page countered and did his twisted grin, which is like a twist of fate type move, and gets the win. Ethan Page beats Javon Evans, knowing that they have history in NXT, which they actually brought up, which is great. But then after the match, Rusev starts attacking Javon Evans, and then Ethan Page is just there, and he's leaving. But then we get Penta coming out. Penta fights off Rusev. He was about to go to the top rope to do a big flying move, but then Ethan Page, out of nowhere, attacks Penta from behind, leading into Rusev destroying Penta. Rusev even carries the Intercontinental Championship, and not gonna lie, it actually looks great on him. So then what's this going to be? A fatal four-way match at Backlash? I don't know. But first off, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Javon Evans and Penta versus Rusev and Ethan Page in the tag team match, which then is going to cause a lot of chaos, and maybe that's when the fatal four-way match happens at Backlash. Kind of similar to the United States Championship match that we had last year. So now I want to move on to Liv Morgan. So Liv does her usual promo as she says, "You are witnessing the greatest women's world champion of all time." I hated it at first, but I got used to it. First off, I want to thank my Judgment Day family. JD, Roxy, Daddy Dom, and Raquel. You've been my rock. I love you guys. And second, this might actually surprise you, but I actually want to thank my WrestleMania opponent, Stephanie Vaquer. She reminded me of something that I haven't been in a while. I am the most talented fighter in WWE. But all of a sudden, Sol Ruca from NXT comes out. And if you guys aren't familiar with Sol Ruca, you're gonna love her. So Sol gets on the mic and she says, "I've seen your journey, Liv, over the past decade. You're an inspiration. You're the best in this women's division. You deserve it." So Liv replies, I appreciate that, but I gotta be honest here. You are no Liv Morgan. If you want to be at WrestleMania, I'm gonna have to ask you to get out of my ring." But Sol ended up saying, "I didn't come here to fight, but I wouldn't back down from one." So obviously this leads to a typical Adam Pearce to come out and say, "Hey, how about we get Sol Ruca versus Liv Morgan right now? Let's get a ref out here." So then Liv Morgan was about to go for the Oblivion. She does it, but Sol Ruca actually counters, and wow. If you saw her counter, it was incredible. So then we get Sol Ruca doing her finishing move, the Soul Snatcher. And bro, I'm telling you right now, this might be one of the greatest finishing moves I've ever seen. Unfortunately, Liv Morgan rolled out of the ring. So then Sol Ruca does her gymnastics background as she takes out the Judgment Day, and she was getting Liv back in the ring. All of a sudden, her former best friend Zarya started attacking her. Which, if you guys aren't aware, Zarya is feuding with Sol Ruca, as they will be having a last woman standing match on NXT Revenge, which is a 2-week event that NXT is having. So that'll be Sol Ruka's final match in NXT, as she'll be moving up to the main roster. And after Zarya attacks Sol Ruka, Liv Morgan does the Oblivion, and by the way, this was all when the referee was distracted. So back to this. Liv does the Oblivion, and she beats Sol Ruka. Great debut, not gonna lie. But then this leads to Stephanie Vaquer confronting Liv once again, making sure that she's not going to forget about this. So now I want to move on here. I mentioned Brock Lesnar earlier. So, after being defeated by Obafemi at WrestleMania, Brock Lesnar was sitting down in the ring, and he took his gloves off, and he took his boots off. He leaves his boots and his gloves in the ring, and he leaves. Meaning that Brock Lesnar has retired. That was shocking to me. Like, I thought he was going to retire at SummerSlam. And SummerSlam is in Minneapolis, which is where Brock Lesnar's from. And Brock Lesnar looks to have retired at WrestleMania. So WWE does this amazing video package of Brock Lesnar's entire career, with Godsmack's I Stand Alone playing in the video. Now, I Stand Alone is a perfect title. It's a perfect song. If you haven't listened to it, go ahead and listen to it. It is a banger and a classic. But let me tell you this right now, and I'm pretty sure everyone else has said this already. There is only one Brock Lesnar. What an amazing video package. Man, no matter what you think of Brock Lesnar, I'm going to tell you right now, Brock Lesnar is one of the best. So I actually want to make this quick. The Street Profits. Where have they been? These guys finally make their return, and now they have their sights set on the World Tag Team Champions, and that is being held by Austin Theory and Logan Clown. And Seth Rollins also gets cut in half once again by Braun Breaker, who was heavily pouring blood out of him. So I want to move on to the last part of the show, as we have a new World Heavyweight Champion, Roman Reigns. Now, I wasn't a big fan of Roman Reigns winning at WrestleMania, but in the post-show, he made it very clear that he was going to be a full-time champion throughout the summer. I kind of had my doubts, but now I actually do believe him. So Reigns gets on the mic and, as usual, Las Vegas, acknowledge me. And Roman Reigns is not alone. The Usos are back together with him. I want to talk about the future, but since I ran into my cousins, it all makes sense to talk about family. I miss this. I missed having your admiration, your respect. I miss doing business with you guys. We were divided. CM Punk has disrespected us without limits. I also heard that a 90s rapper came after you, Jay. It's absurd. You're main event Jey Uso. You changed the entire atmosphere. This is us. We got the power. When it's us, no one reaches on our level. We've dominated the business for 4 years straight. I'm not saying that you guys are my servants, but you're with me bound by blood. So then, all of a sudden, Jacob Fatu comes out. Is he on Raw now? So as Jacob Fatu comes out, Roman says, "It's been a long time since I've last seen you. There's gotta be a reason on why you're here. Like acknowledging me, or maybe you want this title." Jacob says, "Nah, that ain't it. I don't want that title. I need that title. I need everything that the tribal chief has. The private jet, the Rolex, more vehicles, even the bigger house, so that I can even help my kids. So at Backlash, you're gonna find out why it's all gas, no brakes. Yara mean Fatu." I understand now. But if you can't beat me, you're gonna have to carry the weight of acknowledging me. This is the top of the mountain. I'll give you the rest of the week to think about it. I'm not saying yes or no. I'll see you next week, little cousin. Guys, I can't. This is so exciting. This is a Raw after WrestleMania. Like I just said in the beginning, new stars, familiar stars returning. This is great. Like, wow. And Jacob Fatu has a week to make that decision. And it's gonna be in my hometown of Laredo. And guess what, guys? I'm going. Like, bruh, I can't even wait for next week. Guys, just know right now, next week, there won't be a Raw review. I will try to capture everything as possible so I can give you guys a Raw vlog. Anyways, guys, what did you think of this week's Monday Night Raw? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, tap the notification bell for more videos. Follow me on Twitter at Ethan Soy Show. Oh man, and Monday Night Raw. See you next week.